Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something a bit different and focusing on just one specific gadget.
Just one, yeah.
The Aurora Multimedia IRC-BT1 remote control. And at first glance, it just looks like a standard clicker.
It really does.
But our mission here is to sort of peel back the layers and see why this device at around $300 is actually a bit of a Trojan horse for system automation.
That is the perfect way to frame it. A Trojan horse. You really have to stop thinking of it as the TV remote.
Right.
What we're analyzing here is the primary user interface.
Mm-hmm.
It's the human input bridge for these really high-end AV over IP systems.
Specifically, Aurora's VPX series.
Exactly. It's the simplest tool in a very advanced toolkit.
Okay, so let's start with the basics that make it so versatile. It has a dual communication system, right?
It does. You've got your traditional IR, infrared.
The one you have to point.
Right. But more importantly, you have robust RF, radio frequency, operating at 2.4 gigahertz.
And why is that specific RF capability so foundational for these types of systems?
It just instantly solves the line of sight problem.
Okay.
In complex installs, think of a big conference room or a control center. You can't always point the remote at the receiver.
Of course not.
So this 2.4 gigahertz signal, powered by two little AAA batteries, it just works. Through walls, through cabinets.
Yeah.
It gives you room-wide command.
So beyond the connectivity, let's talk about user experience. The sources we looked at kept saying it's designed for a set-top box feel.
Yeah.
What does that actually mean for a user who might be used to more complicated interfaces?
It just means it's familiar.
Yeah.
And it's fast. The remote is pre-mapped for all the essential VPX functions.
Channel changing, the guide.
Right. Channel mapping, the EPG, your electronic programming guide. You don't have to retrain people on some complex custom interface just to switch sources.
Now, this is where the hardware starts getting really interesting. When you pair this with, say, the VPX UC1 Ultra.
The unit that runs a full Android operating system.
Exactly. What new input methods does that activate?
That's where you get the 6-axis gyro mouse.
So it's like a pointer.
It's exactly like a pointer. Since you have a full Android device, you need some way to navigate a cursor and get to internal functions. The gyroscope lets you just wave the remote in the air to control the mouse. It merges a presentation clicker with a standard remote.
And it also has voice control.
It does. A high-fidelity microphone is built right in. If you enable Google Voice Assistant in the Android setup, you can use voice commands.
That's a huge shift in thinking, having a simple remote navigate an OS. But the true architectural pivot, I think, is the button pass-through mode.
Oh, absolutely. This is the automation pivot. This saves integrators a massive amount of programming time.
So walk us through that. How does this feature turn a content controller into a full system automation tool?
Okay, so in pass-through mode, when you press a button, its job isn't just to tell the VPX to change a channel.
It's doing something more.
Much more. It sends the raw press, actually the press and release signals, through the VPX to a third-party control system.
Like a Crestron or an AMX processor.
Precisely. The remote can now control external room elements. Think lighting, a projector screen going up or down, display power.
So the IRC-BT1 is bypassing the AV system's limits.
Exactly. A sub-$300 remote is now doing a job that used to be reserved for a much more expensive custom touch panel.
And just for anyone looking at procurement, the sources also gave us some logistical details.
Mm-hmm.
Part number IRC-DT1, price is $298 now. But more importantly, it's TAA compliant and tariff-free. Why does that matter so much?
TAA compliance, the Trade Agreements Act, is a critical checkbox for any federal, military, or GSA job.
It's a requirement, not a feature.
It's an absolute requirement. And being tariff-free just makes it an incredibly cost-efficient solution for these large-scale, sometimes sensitive projects.
So that integration really is the key takeaway here. A single, familiar device managing everything from the content to the room's lighting.
It is, but this raises a pretty important question for you to mull over based on some of the industry trends we're seeing. If a simple common input device like this can successfully handle the control complexity of an entire room, how might that fundamentally change the architecture we need for large AV installations in, say, the next 5 years? Will we still need these bespoke, expensive touch panels when a low-cost, high-function remote can handle all the heavy lifting of room automation? Something to think about.